If you want to be a successful commercial entertainer, click on the link below. Dooney's Coaching Secrets will help you, and my individual one-on-one sessions start at only $300, and it's a money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy with it, I'll give you your money back. Okay, since Easter's coming, I thought I'd go ahead and throw this one out here to you guys too. It's another story from my book, The Timing of Chicken Feathers, Priceless Tales from 35 years as a purveyor of joy. Because that's what we do, right? That is what I do. So this story is called Easter Armageddon. And the reason I call it that will become obvious, okay? But I probably do maybe 30 to 50 Easter egg hunts every year, and they're pretty fun. They're pretty sweet. They're kind of geared towards younger kids, but elementary age kids also participate and have fun. But this was one of the first ones that I ran. Okay, it's called Easter Armageddon. Picture a young family dressed in their Easter finest, children sobbing uncontrollably while holding their empty Easter baskets. Then imagine their parents irately yelling at me for causing this despair for their children. Now multiply that image in your mind over and over again for almost 3 full hours. I have nightmares like this. As a full-time children's entertainer, I get to celebrate every family holiday many times throughout the year. I attend something like 30 Halloween parties, 50 Christmas parties, and maybe 20 Easter egg hunts every year. Once, in about 1987, I was hired to MC an Easter promotion at the Rancho San Diego Shopping Center. My job was to start all 3 egg hunts for 3 different age groups and perform magic shows in between each hunt in order to help keep the children busy and well entertained. We all looked forward to this fun-filled family event. And that's the thing about an Easter egg hunt. It's the anticipation. It's fun. Kids get excited. That's half or more of what makes an Easter egg fun. Exciting, happy, fun. My client was an advertising executive for the center, and she designed the whole promotion. First, her staff spread flyers and news advertisements all through the neighborhood, inviting everyone to the largest Easter egg hunt ever, 5,000 Easter eggs. Then she and her helpers laid out 3 different square egg fields, all side by side in a dirt field next to an empty Home Depot parking lot. It was a pretty bleak place for an Easter egg hunt, but all the brightly colored eggs made the location much more festive and inviting. The Easter Bunny must have been very busy the night before because there were fields of yellow, pink, green, and light blue. It looked like some kind of impressionist painting, only in the dirt, in a parking lot. Okay, it looked pretty weird, but it wasn't my idea. I was just there to MC. Each different area was supposed to be for a different age group of children, and the 3 squares were separated by wooden stakes about 3 feet high, with a bright strip of fluorescent barrier tape about 1 inch wide stretched between the stakes. The plan was to start the first egg hunt, 0 to 4-year-olds, at 11, using the first square egg field. Then I'd perform a magic show and do the next 5 to 8-year-olds at noon, using the middle field. And finally, I would do another magic show and kick off the 12-year-olds at 1 o'clock, using the final square filled with eggs. It seemed like it was pretty well thought out to me. All of the children were dressed in their Easter finest, which that's the thing about Easter. Mom and Dad want pictures, they dress up, which is why the parking lot was a little, Anyway, there were little babies in their white Easter bunny footy jammies with bunny ears. There were at least 40 little preschool girls dressed in pretty pink and sky blue dresses with yellow accents, new shoes, and beautiful Easter bonnets on their well-brushed hair. Even the little boys were all wearing brand new, completely clean white suits, except for those who had already hit the ground once or twice. I called together the first set of 100 or so little children and their parents and started to explain how the process would work and which egg fields we were going to use for the preschoolers. My plan was to start the festivities out by saying something like, okay, if you're ready to start the egg hunt, then first we have to follow the rules. But before I even got the words out of my mouth, the kids made a mad dash for the eggs. What I learned that day is that 0 to 4-year-olds don't wait for directions. And once it gets started, their parents are no help at all. Within 5 seconds, the whole set of children were on the eggs like a bunch of crazed shoppers on Black Friday. The process spread exactly like wildfire, burning through the eggs as the wave of children scorched through the fields like one big wave, leaving nothing but dirt and devastation in their wake. As with other egg hunts, it was over in seconds. In less than a minute, the whole square was completely wiped clean of eggs. But the devastation didn't stop there. The sweet little children became egg-eating locusts, devouring the next 2 egg fields in their path without a moment's hesitation. When I saw the group going for the second egg field, I knew we were in trouble. I began yelling, "Stop, stop, help, moms and dads, please stop your kids." In less than 3 minutes, it really was over, and 5,000 eggs were in the hands of the little people. I'm sure it was their best Easter egg hunt they'll ever experience. We tried to convince the parents that we needed to get some of the eggs from their little egg parasites. "Please," I pleaded the parents, "is there any way you can talk your kids into helping out with the older children's egg hunt? They'll be disappointed. Please." I've never seen a group of parents and children disappear so quickly. The parents packed up their strollers and egg baskets and headed for their cars. It was like a 3-legged race. You could see the faces on their children because they knew they had done something naughty. And while they were waiting for someone to make them give up their loot, but very few parents did. In a period of about 10 minutes, it was all done. Everyone was gone, and we were left standing there in an empty parking lot with broken eggs and nothing but a strip of dirt covered with an occasional candy wrapper and a bunch of shattered eggshells from being stepped on. Those involved in the promotion were completely shell-shocked, to say the least. I have to tell you, when you're standing around at something like that, and you know it's bad, and you also know it's not over yet, that's a pretty devastating moment. Anyway, normally when something goes wrong in an event, there's some way to fix it. You improvise, you adapt, improvise, overcome, which is my personal motto, and by the way, is the motto of Marine Recon. Ooh-ha. We knew that there was another 100 or so families heading towards us, looking forward to the 12 o'clock Easter egg hunt, with many more to follow. But Party City didn't even exist back in 1987. At this time, there wasn't any pre-filled Easter eggs that you could get to in less than an hour, so we were left with nothing. For most children and their parents, the community Easter egg hunt is a very exciting time. And it's the anticipation of the egg hunt that's the most fun of it all, because the actual egg hunt only lasts a few seconds. Parents dress up their children and plan for this beautiful, sweet photos and memories of the events. Unfortunately, I spent the next 2 hours telling family after family that the eggs were all gone. One blonde little girl named Alice looked at me with the most beautiful smile, front teeth missing, and I watched her face transform and squish as if it were squished by some super gravity, and then overfilled from the inside with gallons of water, leaking out of everywhere. She turned to her dad sobbing. But you promised Easter eggs, then Grandma's. Daddy, you promised. Her reaction was one of complete disbelief, as if someone had just stolen her cat. She was crushed. Her father turned on me and started yelling, "How could you do that to her, to us? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it?" Over and over again, I told the story that no one wanted to hear. In fact, most kids cried, and almost all of their parents yelled at me, as if I had personally planned the devastation. There was not one person who wanted to stay and watch the magic shows. It was the worst event I've ever been involved with. For the first 10 minutes, the kids got to have the happiest Easter egg hunt ever. Then for the rest of the day, we all experienced Easter Armageddon, filled with sadness, tears, anger, and disappointment. It was almost as bad as the time I magically produced a dead bunny rabbit at one of my birthday party shows. But that's another story. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, right? Especially if you're in this business for a long time. So that's a true story. That actually happened. And I have had a huge energy ever since that on making sure that it doesn't happen again, right? So here's a couple of tricks if you're ever asked to run an Easter egg hunt, okay? First of all, never lay the eggs out early. Never, never, never lay the eggs out early because somebody's going to come and steal them. I've had that happen at multiple Easter egg hunts. I showed up at one that was at like a housing thing where they had playgrounds all over the housing development. And I go up to my client, okay, well, where are we going to do the Easter egg hunt? And he goes, oh, no, I laid the eggs over at the playground over there. So when we're ready, we'll all just head over there. I looked at him, I said, so those eggs are gone. What are we going to do now? And he looked at me like, no. Those eggs aren't gone. Of course they were gone. Anyway, so here's how I do it, right? Being a magician, a show person, an entertainer, as a balloon person, you could do a show, with balloons. Sit the kids down, do a show. Face you away from the egg hunt. Have somebody lay all the Easter egg hunts during your show. Before you break up that show, before you say, okay, it's time for the egg hunt, go over the rules. Do the rules at the show. Tell everybody to get to the starting line and wait for you to start it. Nobody starts early. You get to the line, you wait. Get yourself one of those speaker phones, one of those those handheld battery operated speakers if you don't have a sound system, so that you're the loudest voice there, right? So do a show, have somebody lay the Easter eggs, run the Easter egg for that age group. Keep about 50 or 100 Easter eggs back that you don't lay out for the kids that don't get any. Those kids that show up 1 minute late. Those little kids that get outpaced. You've got some Easter eggs in a basket with you. And what I do is I don't put them in their bag or hand them to them. I throw them on the ground. Get those. Throw them on the ground. Get those. And they run and pick them up. And even if they didn't race an Easter egg hunt to get them, they get the experience of picking them up off the ground and putting them in their basket. Okay? So that way I can run 3 egg hunts, 1, 2, 3, ages 1, 2, 3, with 3 different magic shows. And I'll do different magic shows. I'll do a younger age magic show, a middle age magic show, and an older magic show. Keep all of those kids busy while the eggs are being laid out. And then you say your rules, send the kids over to the line, start the thing, have a great time. Ta-da. Now, the other thing that I also want to mention is people like to have the golden egg now. It's a big deal. Let's put like 3 eggs out there with prizes. They'll be bigger, they'll be whatever. And we'll tell all the kids there's this big basket. We're going to give away this big basket. I hate that. It's like the worst thing you can do to an egg hunt. And I'll tell you why. When you run an egg hunt without that, everybody's happy. Whatever they get little candy, they get little goodies. Look, Mommy, I got a little pig. They're happy. They're happy. If they have 3 golden eggs, nobody's happy, except for the kids that get the 3 golden eggs. They run up there, they collect all those things. They didn't get the golden eggs. Look, it's just a piece of trash. Look, it's just a piece of candy. Nobody's happy when they don't get the golden Easter eggs. So what I do is I discourage my clients from doing that, and I tell them that story. I tell them why nobody's happy. You don't want an Easter egg hunt for 100 kids where 97 of them are unhappy. No. And if you just don't have that, everybody's happy. They love whatever they get. They don't care. It does not matter if there's not the golden egg. So what you do instead is you have your 3 prizes. And at the show, before you break up the show, you pass out raffle tickets and you have a raffle and you give away the 3 prizes. Or after the egg hunt, you call everybody together. You pass out the raffle tickets and you give away the raffle prizes. Now it's not associated with the egg hunt. You still get the 3 big prizes. People still love the egg hunt. And now you give away your things with the raffle. So anyway. All right, I hope you had fun with this story. It was my first non-Ronald story I've shared here, but I'll share quite a few. Don't forget to buy the book. It's in the link below. Don't forget, man, the reason I'm here is to help you be a better entertainer. And if you want help from me personally, you know, 1-hour coaching session is the perfect way to go. And again, money back guarantee. Hope to see you there, and I hope to see you back here. Have a great time. Don't forget to subscribe.